How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rallet. Let's get right into the Pokemon news and leaks right away. Starting things off with this post right here from Centro. Now, Centro, if you guys don't know them, they're a leak aggregator. They're just people that share leaks from other people, in case you were wondering. So they shared the following. From this, we can assume the following. And what are they talking about? Basically, there are two new moves that have leaked for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. New leak. Two new moves have leaked potentially for the Paradox Virizion and Paradox Suicune. If you don't know what the paradoxes are, if you haven't played Scarlet and Violet, but if you have played it, you might not still know exactly what I'm talking about. It is the past versions and future versions of certain Pokemon that you find in Area Zero, the kind of end game of, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It's like, Brute Bonnet, Sandy Shocks, those kind of Pokemon. And why are we talking about this? Well, basically, it's because, ladies and gents, it looks like, as far as I can tell, based on this, that we have leaks for what the moves will be for these guys. Now, we already kind of knew about this from before, but it is going to be Hydro Steam and Psyblade. Those are the two new moves, and that was posted by Kurt here. Now, Kurt is a data miner. He's somebody who goes into the files and data mine stuff, and here's what they basically said. They said, can confirm that Hydro Steam 1-1-17 and Psyblade 1-1-35 are selectable moves. After somebody asked here that the Arcane9 Labs Team Creator tool accidentally leaked to English DLC move names, so it's somewhat plausible that they could return in the later updates. And then it's because also earlier this month, I think, there was a regional championship where basically they accidentally showed off the sprites of two Pokemon, Garbodor here, and whatnot, but those don't exist within Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. They're not available in the game. They're not available Pokemon at all in the game, and they were still here listed with their sprites. So their sprites exist, which means they could be returning in a future update or a future DLC. So that takes us back to the original point. From this, based on what we see right here from this quote-unquote leak, we can basically deduce that these two might have the following typings. That the Paradox Suicune, which would be the, if I'm mistaken here, I think that's the past version, and then the Virizion is the future version, would be a water, or I guess water fire type, because it's Hydro Steam, so water fire type, and then grass psychic based on this. But water fire doesn't seem that realistic to me, because Hydro Steam maybe, sure, but Psyblade makes sense. Grass psychic for Paradox Virizion seems like a little bit decent. Then we also have the following. Paradox Suicune's actual name is the following, and Virizion is the following, and we'll be translating these directly here if we can. See if we can translate these the Japanese right here, which is Unerumi Namo and Tetsuno Saha. Also remember, the types are speculation. Those fit their attacks, but for example, Water Electric and Fighting Psychic could be another potential combo. So we don't know exactly what all this would be. Shizu also here says the following. Minamo probably would be the first part, or that part in Japanese, which would mean surface of water or source of water, respectively. But I'm not quite sure what Uneru refers to. So again, kind of interesting, again, like what this all relates to. And they also, Zoro here says, for those who can't read it, Uneru Minamo translated something like undulated water surface. So I guess its localized name, it must be waving waters, which fair enough. So again, what does this mean? It means that we are getting two new Paradox Pokemon in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but that's only the first thing. We already talked about this in the past. It's not like this is brand new information for us, but it is worthwhile to talk about nonetheless, which I just think it's information that's worthwhile mentioning. But that's not all we have though. We have some other very big stuff that I think you guys will enjoy. This is coming to us, of course, from 4chan, but it is an interesting post nonetheless. This is from somebody on 4chan who says the following. Also, by the way, shout out really quickly. I just want to give a shout out to the people who sent this information to me. Really massive thank you to you guys. But shout out to Kikuiri on Twitter and also George on Discord and whatnot. So shout out to those guys. Either way, Pokemon Teal, a free upgrade posted from Anonymous on 4chan. Now, remember, the 4chan posts are never to be taken, as, real on face value. Just keep that in mind. But he has an image here of Nemona wearing an outfit that looks more like a homey outfit, something you wear at home or at an office or something, rather than something you'd wear while out trying to complete the Pokemon challenge. Like more like non-school uniform, like regular outfit. And here's what it says. Original Ash Hat and Classic Gengar versus Nidorino Rotom Phone Case. I don't really know what that means. 1,000 celebration, all transferable, but not every Pokemon is registered. So I guess we're gonna reach 1,000 Pokemon available in the game, I'm guessing is what he's trying to say. I mean, I could be misunderstanding this. I'm not really sure but he says free upgrades. So I guess this is stuff that's going to be given for free. Improved optimization, frame rate, and collision and camera fixes. All right, that would be actually pretty good because the game still has issues, still doesn't run 100%. Elite Four rematches. That's something that people have been asking for. I've noticed a lot of people do want to see Elite Four rematches back in this, so honestly, that seems pretty reasonable. I'm not going to even deny that. The Great Crater Gang's Summer Break. Again, this doesn't really make much sense. It just seems a little bit odd, to say the least. It just seems a little strange to say. But hey, I'll take it for what it is. We'll just, take it for what it is right here. Pixie Giveaway, Convergent Evolutionary Fairy type, a mix of Clefairy and something else that I can't read there. But okay, that's interesting. Sweet Scent, Defog, Dive, Waterfall, Rock Smash, and Cut with Coridon, Miraidon. Alright. Meridia, which is a Pyrenees x Canary Islands midday street painting. And then Coco Coastal Resort, owned by Nemona's family. That's something that definitely could happen. We know for a fact, okay, the house that you meet Nemona at, where you choose your starter Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet, that is Nemona's home. And we know that her parents are rich because of the conversation that she has with Arvin and Penny when you're going down in the Great Crater in Area 0. So we know her family is rich, and the idea of them actually owning some sort of, I guess, any form of, like, some form of an island of sorts, where basically the equivalent of a Battle Frontier would be sick. I think also just the return of Battle Frontier would be something that would genuinely increase people's excitement for this game again, and would actually sell more copies. Like, I legitimately think it would sell more copies. But either way, so they continue on. Cryptid, Koraikun, Mirazion, found footage, and Bigfoot hunting. So some sort of cryptid, and then, so I guess it's a brand new Pokemon of sorts, and hunting for, give or take, something like a Bigfoot. So I don't know, I guess like little mini side quests. I'm guessing that's what he means when he says all this weird stuff about, like, the cryptid, the Pixie Giveaway, which is a brand new Pokemon, I guess, the Great Crater Gang's Summer Break. Like, that again just all sounds weird, but again, if it's real, I think it's worthwhile that we cover it and talk about it, just so we keep it in mind. But yeah, just let me know in the comment section, what do you guys specifically feel about this post? Again, a little strange, I'm not gonna lie, not a little, actually very strange, very odd, but I just think it's worthwhile to bring it up, mention it, and just see what you guys have to say about it. Just let me know in the comment section down below about that one. Moving on to the next thing, which is this right here. Leaker says the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC is so cool, and that it's looking forward to our reaction once it's revealed. So, ladies and gentlemen, what is it that they're talking about? Well, basically, Riddler Koo says the DLC is so cool. And if you guys don't know the Riddler Koo, again, quick explanation. This is the person who leaked information for Legends Arceus, Scarlet and Violet, and I even think the Crown Tundra and Isle of Armor was the leaker for that. This person right here, riddled and leaked. So if you guys don't know Koo by now, I mean, it is what it is, but if you do know him, you guys will know that this individual, whoever it is, has leaked a plethora, a shit ton of information. So, it is what it is, there you go. But let's move on to the next subject, which is this right here. Now, you might be like, oh, I don't care about this. Well, I think it's interesting to look at. This is the TCG cards, and these are TCG cards that have actually, I guess, leaked somewhat for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and these are Scarlet and Violet base set Japanese secret rare cards. You got a few in there. You got like Arcanine in there. You've got Arvin. You've got Catty. You've got don't really know who exactly that is. Honestly, not even sure. But either way, you basically have a bunch of Pokemon. You've got Iron Threads. You've got Miraidon and whatnot, and you got Banette. So yeah, just a few of the cards have leaked, which I think is worthwhile to bring up as well, as if this is leaking right now as well, that means we're getting closer to more stuff leaking probably too. So just a worthwhile piece of information I thought you guys may enjoy. So that's that. Let's move on to the final post for today, which is going to be this one right here. So this is coming to us from 4chan again. I'll be reading it because I can't really get it perfectly framed here. I'll try to move it around a little bit so you guys can see it better, but I think there it is. I think we got it perfectly. So let's see what it says. Patch 1.2 on Pokemon Day brings a free update with 3 new Pokemon in unique areas, along with an announcement of 2 rounds of Scarlet and Violet for later in the year. I guess 2 rounds is DLC. Now, Kalos is not the DLC, but Corinna returns to an open a battle facility. Ooh, that would actually be pretty sick. Then he says that we have the following brand new Pokemon. A Paradox Komodo, which is a dragon bug type, known as Clatterworm, which that would actually be pretty sick, I'm not gonna lie. Paradox Metagross, Steel Electric, Iron Spider. Oh, that would actually be very cool as well. Paradox Suicune, Water Dragon, Raging Waters. Okay, so that's from the leaked name, Raging Waters, or, you know, whatever we saw earlier. Paradox Virizion, Psychic Grass, Iron Needle. Okay, fair enough. Paradox Houndoom, a Fire Dark type, so does it just stay the same then? And then it's Gloomy Hydra. What would that even mean? Does it have multiple heads? Because a Hydra, you know, usually has multiple heads, and if you cut one off, another one grows back. Or two more grow back, something like that. Paradox Heliolisk is Electric Dragon, Iron Typhoon. Ooh, okay. And then it says, Pay Tortle, the Crystal Turtle Pokemon. Stop this massive creature before it invades Paldea with its newly created Paradox Pokemon. So Peri-Tortle is an ancient weapon from a lost civilization with the power to turn anything into reality. This is something we've spoken about in recent videos, actually, and a lot of guys have probably spoken about this, and you guys have probably seen a lot about this. But basically, what is it referring to? It's basically this idea that the Paradox Pokemon and the existence of them and anything down in the Great Crater is created by some sort of Pokemon, the third legendary. And the reason that what happens with this third legendary is that anything you imagine, it brings into reality. So for example, the people that went down there imagined that they created the time machine, imagined that they created, you know, imagined literally Pokemon from the past and Pokemon from the future, and it literally manifested it. Like, it's a Pokemon that literally manifests things like thoughts and ambitions, or whatever you want to call it, into reality. It manifests them in some way or shape. And in this case, it literally manifested these Paradox Pokemon. So that's been a theory now for a bit. And interestingly here, it's talking about the third Pokemon being some sort of ancient weapon belonging to a lost civilization, which is fair. And then it says, Jacques has always been fascinated by Professor Sada and Turo's research, which is why he reactivated the time machine with Peri-Tortle's guidance. So is Jacques going to be like evil? Because he barely did anything in like the actual main game. And interestingly, if you guys play Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, listen to me when I say this. This is very interesting. If you play the game, we know that the shape of this like third legendary is some sort of a hexagon. Interestingly, Jacques is like wearing glasses that literally have a hexagon pattern on them. And that's even pointed out by, I think, I could be wrong about who says it, could be, I mean, I think it's either one of the teachers or it's Hassel or someone mentions it actually to, to you as the player, like, oh yeah, and ever notice his hexagonal glasses? Like, why would you mention that? Why is that an important detail? It's such a random thing to say, but it was said, so that could mean that Jacques genuinely could be a bad guy. And then he says the following: travel to a new school with new teachers and new classes that gives you even greater bonuses, such as recipes to make shiny sandwiches without Herba Mystica, which would be sick if true. Like, that would be beautiful. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I think for the most part, that's all we had to go through today. So, of course, what have we gone through? Well, basically, we have the Paradox Suicune and Virizion. We know somewhat what their names are, kind of like, you know, surface of water, source of water, water surface, something like that. And the other one, we don't really know much about what the other one is. We do know, though, that they definitely have new moves called Hydro Steam and Psyblade. Those are confirmed. Those are actually in the game. Those are within the actual game. But here, it's so funny that this was leaked by the team builder used for VGC. They removed the data from the games, but forgot to remove it from the team builder. There you go. But yeah, so, again, we got that. We also had this rumor with this artwork, which is kind of intriguing. So we got that too. And then, of course, we can't forget that the fact that the DLC is literally said to be really good or cool by the actual leaker here, Riddler. Now, what he defines as good and cool and great or whatever is different from what other people consider good and bad and stuff, so keep that in mind. Nonetheless, we also have the fact that the TCG stuff has been leaking, so that usually is an indication of the stuff to come. And then, of course, we had this final rumor. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it for today's video. As per usual, guys, if you did enjoy it, then make sure to drop a like down below. Make sure to subscribe, and we'll be seeing you guys in another video tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're doing a video on what the future of Pokemon is going to be, the timeline, so on and so forth. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll be seeing you guys in the next time. Peace out, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.